Hey, WinterJam, what's happening? How you guys doing out there? My name's FlowPoetry. I'm grateful to the Majestic for having me down, to WinterJam, to the new Speedway players and Evergreen Grass Band. And most of all, I'm grateful for you for coming out early, so give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you very much, everybody. My first Dead show was 1986, summer of 86. Minneapolis, Metrodome, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, and the Grateful Dead. They were all together, trading off who was going what. I went down with my friend Tim. I wasn't smoking much herb at that time. I was drinking a lot of beer, and so we got real drunk, wound up down at the Metrodome, wandering around. I think the Dead played second, if I remember correctly. Petty closed, Dylan opened. They did one big set, and it sounded like hell in there. Big Metrodome, sound was bouncing everywhere. I walked around with my buddy and I was like, what is this shit, man? I don't dig this at all, man. Dylan was okay. It was loud. Petty was awesome. And the Dead were just like, well, you know, man, I don't quite get it. It's okay, but it sounded bad, man. We tried to get down to the field where it was like all squishy on the Metrodome, artificial grass, and it sounded worse down there. So I turned to my buddy and I was like, I don't know, man. We had bought some tickets to Alpine for the following night, you know, do the whole thing, right? I don't know, do we need to drive all the way from Minneapolis to Alpine? And he's like, well, we already got the tickets, let's just go. All right, we'll go. So we get down there. First set had some shrooms. And I think it was towards the end of the set, they're doing something. And all of a sudden, I was just like, holy shit, what the fuck was that? What was that? And I turned to my buddy and he was looking right at me and our eyes just went like, boom. What? And then it was on. 100 shows, 110 shows later, and that's the way it goes. So the Grateful Dead runs through the whole history of American music from the 60s on. I do spoken word, I do poetry, I don't play music, but I always wanted to participate in that kind of feeling. So what I do is different kinds of poems that have different feelings, and I think a lot about the Grateful Dead sets and how they put their stuff together. They had a rocker, and then they had a ballad, a Jerry ballad, and some sort of country western thing in the blues. So tonight I'm going to do original stuff, but I'm going to try to hit some of those notes for you, and I hope you dig it. Thank you. Jamrock. This is not for the squeamish and those afraid of dark, afraid of gone to new day like fireflies without a spark. Those rubber ducky babies with silver spoons all tucked in bed. Hyena howling, tiger lilies stretched, waiting for the dead. Wookie bearded babas squatting in the dust and smoking head. This is for the hurried few dragged along by teams of dogs, stuck beside heart's ditch of mud, cast ashore like driftwood logs. Sand-strewn nymphs, red ball bounce upon the beach. New York-bound cats grin, ants stuck in their teeth. Bowler-capped boys, chuckling, tweak the beast. So come all ye hula-hoopin' maidens, a-gambling on the lawn, frogs a-courtin' moonbeams and velvet-painted dawn, silver saddle stirrups, and guitars made of rain, wing-footed fleet streeters dancing out the pain, tree-hugging butterflies with no need to explain. Ballad. When the light of the sun reaches 20 below and the breath of the day starts to freeze, I'll still think of you in the middle of the night, and I'll dream of the days that might be. Though the shadow of the stars drew us apart, and the grass and the trees wept to see, I'll still think of you in the times that I'm lost, and I'll dream of the days that might be. I remember us still and how we attempted to fill those days of sorrow with light and with love. And I remember us then when we were still friends and we dreamed of the days that might be. In the shadow of the fen where the light couldn't portend and the silence was louder than screams. I think of us then, how we clung against the wind and we dreamed of the days that might be. Country western. Black boots, canyon mica, shimmer. Of course, whiskey and smoke. Mind, too, rocking on the wind. Music played low. Still thoughts of the wheel, rutted road. My boys sitting around. Campfires. Watch fireworked stars spill into desert. Memories of that day when I first came a-riding, when the breeze from the coast blew fresh salt in the air, and the tequila I shared with her brother and her uncle, and the warnings they proffered, I knew I best beware. Taffeta fancy, smoothly moving Seniorita, a vision in white with a pink lace bow for a heart. Iguana boots and a bullwhip like a rooster's gaff. Her brother and her uncle, two men done dealt death. Now me, I just smiled, and I winked in reply to her offer of water and a cool place to rest. See, she just trembled, seemed ever so slight. She didn't ripple a drop like a stone skipping light. That night, in the dark, while the meteors traced an arc, I heard my door creak and the hiss of a rattlesnake close to its prey. She smelled of the sweet sweat that throbs on the wrist of a maiden's surrender, the sage smoke that smudges the dark spaces inside. She keened in her riding, more spirit than woman, and she bit through my shoulders, my neck, and my thighs. Oh, precious satin Seniorita, asleep in my arms, like a doe caught in thorns when I gazed in your eyes, like a string of red peppers popping sparks caliente, with the sun sinking soft when you laid by my side. Misty vapor, sinuous sandstone, droplets of dew just like melting wax. The cream-colored ponies left, flanked by the outriders. The Baja Peninsula, dreams turned to Sauro and fast tracks. Train poem, Detroit pounder done jumped the tracks. Once you're gone, no sense going back. Big black train headed for that load. Stoke that fire, boys, shovel more coal. Now Elijah Boyd left town in 48, spit goodbye, headed out that gate, climbed aboard that last westbound freight, drew an ace to his aces and eights. Now some say hide, boys, and some say run, and some say peace at the end of a gun. Ain't no use carrying on that way. Everyone knows you got to kneel to pray. Now I'll get you high, boys, get you high. Head in the clouds, feet touch the sky. Elijah Boyd's living fine, not asking why. Westbound whistle gonna testify. Blues, last night, heard you breathe. Felt so sad, almost cried. You know it rained all day on Grant Park. You know it rained all day on Grant Park. 8 times, going home, sweet home, Chicago. I must have overdosed on those blues, brothers and sisters. I must have overdosed on those blues. 2 a.m. tour, in the dark, can't see the skyline, lost in clouds. You know it rained all day on Grant Park. You know it rained all day on Grant Park. 3 a.m. wash, spin machine, playing the blues, stuck on spin cycle. I must have overdosed on those blues, brothers and sisters. I must have overdosed on those blues. Hard rock. Well, they say we've arrived, but we don't know where. It's like deja vu and then, hey, what are you worth? and they say, have a seat. You know, you seem a bit beat. Well, I can hear the ticking of the earth. There's something ticking in the ground. There's something ticking in the ground. There's something tick-tock, 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 ticking in the ground. Something ticking in the ground. There's something ticking in the ground. There's something tick-tock, 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 ticking in the ground. Well, the polar caps are melting and the glaciers moving back. In my daydream, silent sunbeam. In my nightmare, nature's cracked. And the desert's blooming gunpowder. The seas are choked with oil. In my daydream, silent sunbeam. In my nightmare, blood and soil. Well, they say we've arrived, but we don't know when. It's a horse apiece and pit bulls from birth. And then they say, have a seat. You know, you seem a bit beat. Well, I can hear the ticking of the earth. There's something ticking in the ground. There's something ticking in the ground. There's something tick-tock, 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 ticking in the ground. Something ticking in the ground. There's something ticking in the ground. Something tick-tock, 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 ticking in the ground. Well, the polar caps are melting and the glaciers moving back. In my daydream, silent sunbeam. In my nightmare, nature's cracked. And the desert's blooming gunpowder. The seas are choked with oil. In my daydream, silent sunbeam. In my nightmare, blood and soil. Chant. Seek the one in the setting sun. Seek the one in the setting sun. Seek, seek, seek. I used to stare at the sun. I used to stare at the sun. I used to stare at the sun and rock. We are outcasts in exile. A people without a land. Nomads crazed by miles of road. On a mission without a plan. Like a jumping gun in battle, a hot LZ outside Da Nang, crossing those DMZ ditches. Forgot that the safety's on. We are wires around the perimeter and fire in the hole. A Huey chopper taking off, rising slow and flying low, like a warm wind on a country road, with breezes in our hands, headed out of Buckeye Lake, on the road following the band, and the hippie that you rode in on. A double dose at first seemed right. He said it would be so reasonable. He said it would treat you nice. Like a pavement-pounding jackhammer, a steamroller on cloud 9, a working zone detour up ahead. You know they'll double the fine. And it wove us past the sun, and it warped us past the moon, on silken wings stretched thin with gossamer threads, woven by 10,000 hands on 10,000 looms, a goddess poem. For I will always miss you, even when you are by my side. Miss you in the mornings, once I turn and remember the times. The times I held you in the sunset, a crimson gold halo protecting your head. The times you healed me when I lay dying of poison, too weak to crawl out of bed. The times I felt you cool my fever, and you came when I whispered your name. The times I felt we could fly. Fierce Kovin Tina, a dragon at midnight, an angel at daybreak, asleep in the light. Sweet Kovin Tina, dream all my sorrows to sleep. Withered Kovin Tina, a hag at the stream's edge. Open the road, my heart lies at your well's ledge. Sweet Kovin Tina, within your waters I long to bathe. For I will always miss you, but away I have to ride. Miss you in the mornings, once I turn and remember the times. The times your claws scratched out my eyes and left me crying tearless. The times I tried to explain and you spit on me for being too fearless. The times my stomach roiled in pain and you, a banshee, named me insane. The times I felt we could fly. Lady Coventina, I drop all my coins. Into your dark I pray and I pray. Hold your gold in glass beads over my head. Lower me into your well and summon my soul. In Coventina's well, there are many small springs, and her valley is covered with bubbling pure streams. Her flowing waters heal my heart and are open to the sky, psychedelic. Goofy-footed boots and a buckle made of sterling. Alive on the mountain and a wave gently curling. Yellow leaves of autumn and a poet strolling, singing. Cars gliding homeward and blue lights blinking. bass thumps in trunks and day-old cold coffee, shuttle bus service and Thai temple jade ring, the red line to Belmont, Ruby Port sweetly drinking. This frigate's rockin', we won't never be sinking. Scuttle the ship, me hearties, the rats have all left. They've taken the golden rings, the lifeboats and vests. The next wave that rolls by will surely be the last. The next wave that rolls by will surely be the last. Swim till your arms break, Mary Poppins on acid. Roll like a convict ratted out by a bastard. Tickle Me Elmo was eaten by Barney. Sabbath wears corduroy and a sweater in chapel. Playboy bunnies in habits with stiletto eyelashes. 40 years old, still death and taxes. Puking on sidewalks and surveyed by security. If your canoe's burning, don't bother running to me. Scuttle the ship, me hearties, the rats have all left. They've taken the golden rings, the lifeboats and vests. The next wave that rolls by will surely be the last. The next wave that rolls by will surely be the last. Fall in the air and the clack of the L. Mana receding on Broadway at midnight. The parking lot overrun by thieves with badges, selling silver bangles, white cargo vans at the back door. 6 blocks to the lakeshore, 6 street lamps burning brightly, street dust and grit and panhandlers from Nigeria, djembe drummers slam and angels dumpster dive. You'd better keep on bailing if you want to stay alive. Daisy-headed creep is so syrup when done slowly. Maisie-hearted weep and a Mai Tai in a tiki hut. Sparkle-footed leap like a magenta violin string. I bring to your home on the salt flats a glass of water and a parasol. I bring to Bonneville blue flame at Mach 1. Love now, love now, love now, love. Be now, be now, be now, be. New now, new now, new now, new. Now, new, now, new, now, new, now. Bud now, blossom now, flower now, bloom. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. A little dose of flow poetry for you. Evergreen Grass Band, new Speedway players. Majestic WinterJam is on. Have fun, y'all.